Hey guys, before the start of this episode, I just want to let you know that the audio that you're going to listen in this podcast is going to be a little different than the rest just because we had some issues with the recording setup and I had to use the backup recording, which was recorded off of my laptop at the time. I run that in the background just in case we run into issues like this. So you're going to notice a difference, but I think you'll still enjoy the episode. Thanks. Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Stop doing that. You've done it like 3 times of the few podcasts that we've done.
I will never stop.
Please.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what's the name of our podcast again?
The Ghost Collective.
The Ghost Collective.
You need to restart that all.
No. It's all part of the program.
Today, instead of having Jim with us, he's away on vacation with his family. Actually, at the moment,
today.
Someone went to the airport a day early.
Yeah, just to discover that his father can't read a computer screen.
I want to know.
And it is, in fact, the next day.
We need to ask him, how did they get there? Did they plan?
Yeah, how did they... Did the family member drop them off and then they just had to call them up and they had to turn around and come back? Or did they pay somebody to valet their car? And
that's what I was wondering. I was like, I wonder if they paid for parking and then...
Regardless, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well...
Especially since it was at 4 a.m. So. Yeah. Anyway,
thanks for tuning into the Ghost Collective. Today, instead of Jim, we have Alicia.
It is kind of haunting.
Yeah.
Be in a situation
that is the scariest of all stories.
That's a scary story. The awkward interaction with the flight, the people at the terminal going,
hey, you know how you just took my car?
At least they were a day early and not a day late.
That's true.
So.
Could you imagine?
Now that is scary.
Sorry, Jim.
That is a collective of ghosts.
So,
thank you, Alicia, for joining in and taking Jim's spot. But sorry to Jim for
replacing him so quick.
Well, so grateful to have this opportunity.
As you should.
So here's what's happening. Because Jim's not here,
and because Alicia's the sourpuss,
Alicia doesn't have a story. She's just filling in. Yeah. She's here for straight commentary.
She's that background commentary.
Which is all right.
Peanut
that's
gallery.
Fine. The peanut gallery.
That's call it the peanut gallery because that seems cheap and weird.
The almond gallery.
Yeah, it's going to be the pistachios gallery, except for the pistachios have lost their shells, and you just buy the straight pistachios without the shells.
That's your worst nightmare.
I know.
Because you eat the shells, you absolute freak.
More glazed pecans.
Pecan pie.
That's too upscale for our podcast.
Yeah, tone it down.
What do you think? I'm made out of glazed pecans. So anyway, let's get into some stories.
Let's get into some scary.
You got something first, or?
So I have 2 kind of small ones.
Okay. You want to read one, and then I'll read one, and then you go back to the other one.
Yeah. So
you do that, so you don't tire yourself out.
Alicia, here's the option.
Okay.
One takes place in Clinton, New Jersey. Clifton, New Jersey.
Not Clinton?
Not Clinton.
Although there is a Clinton, New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, there's Clinton Road. Clinton Road in New Jersey is the most haunted road in the world or something.
They say.
So they say.
It's where Bill Clinton dumped all his bodies.
Yeah. He's a murderer. Or
killed a guy?
Or the other one is Mountain Road, Basking Ridge, New Jersey.
Ooh. I kind of like that.
Get ready to be disappointed.
Well, why do I have an option? Why even have that as an option?
He just wanted to see if he would choose right or wrong. And you've apparently chosen wrong.
You've chosen wrong. No, I'm just kidding. It's actually interesting. So in Bernards Township, New Jersey, off of Mountain Road, is a tree that the locals call the Devil's Tree. So I'm just going to read off the article here because they describe it a little better than I can.
Poor trees.
I'm sure they've done their research longer than you did.
Trees just misunderstood.
Yep, I definitely didn't just find this 5 minutes before the podcast. This is one sinister looking tree, and according to the locals who told us of its legends, everyone in the vicinity of Bernards Township seems to have a story about it. They say that at one time, a farmer killed his entire family, then went to the tree to hang himself. According to some, numerous suicides and murders occurred around the evil arbor. Supposedly, anyone who tries to cut down the tree comes to an untimely end, and it is now cursed. It is said that the souls of those killed at the spot give the tree an unnatural warmth, and even in the dead of winter, no snow will fall around it. Which, to me, I wouldn't say that the snow's not falling around it. Maybe it's just melting around it.
Well, you ever seen, is it Tim Burton? Sleepy Hollow, Johnny Depp, and that actor that really scares me who happens to be playing
Johnny Depp.
the Headless Horseman, and like the tree that's there.
With all the heads in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he like
that is a sinister tree.
as a Headless Horseman, but
Never seen it.
What?
What?
Okay. Well, then I won't go into detail because you have to see it.
Yeah, no spoilers.
Yeah.
I know.
So are the snowflakes just like, nope.
Not that it's an original story or anything.
So to give some, I'm done reading off the article. So I got that portion
That
off
was
of,
it?
but I'm gonna add to it. I got that from weirdnewjersey.com.
I figured.
We can make our own tree fanfic.
Yeah, we can make our own tree. Well, I've read more about it, but I don't want to just read off the article. So there's actually, it's like a tourist spot, but if you go to the tree's like covered in axe marks, chainsaw marks.
What the?
But like the tree's never been fully cut down. There's just,
Attempts.
Yeah, a lot of old attempts and stuff. So like, why hasn't anyone actually physically cutting down the tree? I believe, and I think I've seen something where they put a fence around it, like a chain link fence.
Okay.
But they like wrap the tree because if you try to strike that with an axe, it just bounces the axe off. But yeah, could you imagine?
Well, I'm just wondering why they want to keep the tree. Like
that tourism revenue, I guess.
or the stories.
Is there a tip jar?
Yeah.
The stories are true, and everyone keep trying to cut it down, keep dying.
Everybody that even considers, cutting it down.
Yeah. The old farmer that owns the land right now is like, all these kids keep dying around my yard. I'm tired of cleaning them up.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of pictures and stuff, and you can go like visit it and look at it, and it's got like spray paint and stuff on it because people just like vandalizing. Damn kids.
Sinister looking trees.
Yeah, but that's like devil's tree.
That's the first thing that comes to my mind when I see a really scary looking tree that snow doesn't fall on it, and whoever touches it with an axe dies. I just want to paint on it.
Well, even watching Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, just within the first season, like they have that specific tree.
Yeah, that's right.
That all the kids.
We're gonna get us copyright flagged with all these references.
I know.
No, you're talking about the tree from Avatar. No.
They're floating.
You guys know that Walt Disney was a Nazi?
Oh, anyway.
I will fight you.
I
There's always going to be the haunting tree that always has like
connections to
the mafia.
Yeah.
I mean, how about
maybe it's just the mafia. The mafia really likes this tree.
Let's see how many.
It's a tree with some stories back then.
Let's see how many references we can bring in.
I know.
Can we name every movie?
So it was trees the entire time. All these like companies that are like destroying the rainforest are just trying to do us a favor.
Yes.
They realize that killing the trees is what's really going to save humanity.
So the tree actually looks like it's been burned at times. Like here, I'll show you. I'll show you a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see the screwed up tree.
Oh. Okay, so it's not as from what I'm telling, as thick. Okay.
Thick with two C's.
Yeah, it's still like a creep.
Family portrait.
Yeah. So for those of you listening, there's like a picture. That's not even in front of the tree.
No, it's not.
They're at an apple orchard.
Right next to the tree.
Yeah.
I think they just want to, soften the mood, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, the whole snow thing has just fallen through because there's literally a picture of it with snow on it. So
I don't see any snow on the tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're right. Oh no, the stories are true.
Maybe the farmer that lives in the house just has nothing better to do, so he just goes out and cleans off the snow off the tree.
But he does it
every single morning.
He does it really inefficiently, so he just goes out there and he goes, blows on it, warms it with his breath.
Maybe he spills like boiling water on it,
and then it creaks and it goes.
Airplane goes by.
All right, yeah, that's pretty much all I got for that. But that's in New Jersey, so if we ever decide to have a road trip,
sinister tree journey.
Yeah, sinister tree journey.
And I was the first thing, and I was thinking of Conjuring when they were, but sinister.
Oh, the tree in the back of Conjuring.
I think it was in the front yard.
It's in the backyard. I'll fight you. It's in the backyard.
It's in the front.
It's next to the water.
Lake. Yeah.
It's in the backyard.
Oh, I thought it was in the front yard.
Yeah, me too.
Why would it be in the front yard?
No,
that's a big ass lake.
Some people live. It's like off to the side, though.
I don't know.
Why would they?
So now we got the Conjuring reference in there as well. I mean,
I know, but
we're just shooting them off.
Sinister, but Sinister's a good one.
I'm just saying Sinister the word. I'm not.
Yeah, Sinister messed me up.
You're not talking about the movie?
I'm not talking about the movie. I'm using it as an adjective.
It is very sinister. Well, because
it's a very sinister looking tree. Not a very sinister TM looking tree.
TM.
Spooky trees.
We should have like a spooky tree road trip or something.
That's almost like I said that.
No.
Did you say that?
I said a trip to the tree.
Yeah, but I mean multiple trees. I mean, there's a spooky tree in every state, and we need to go see it.
like the state
so
bird.
Then, like, 50,
you actually want a road trip.
Yeah.
Like they have a state bird, but they also have this state haunted tree.
Flag. Here's
state
our
parks.
state song. Here's our state bird, and here's our state spooky tree. And then Benjamin Franklin fought for the state spooky tree to be.
Yeah.
Like an oak. And everybody was just like, no, you're an idiot. It's obviously going to be mahogany.
Mahogany.
Specifically. Anyway.
Oh,
yeah. Could Benjamin Franklin go try and cut that tree down? I bet you're probably just going to die before you cut it down. I guess you're right. That should be the spooky tree.
That should be our state tree.
Well, how far away did they say that? So from us being in South Jersey.
Oh, I didn't look that up.
I'm assuming it's all North Jersey anyway.
Yeah, usually everything's...
and Clinton are both.
Here, I could direct...
But since I haven't heard...
Let me MapQuest that. That's an hour and 42 minutes away. It's out past Edison.
Okay, so yeah.
We're a hop, skip, and jump away from the spooky
pretty
tree.
up there.
Yeah.
Except for the tree.
Okay. Sorry.
Okay.
Are we boring you, Alicia?
It's been a long day.
All right, go ahead, Steve.
All right, so
what do you bring into the table?
So
is it anything good?
We haven't recorded in a few weeks, and I actually knew that I wanted to do this the first time I read it. So it's just been on the top of my head for like a really long time.
Are you about to jump out the window?
Yeah. Well, this story actually really bothers me.
I swear.
I think about this all the time. Like I didn't think it was that great at first, but then every time I go for a run, I think about it.
It's the pee pee poo poo man.
Yeah, it's the pee pee poo poo man. All right, so this is like a ritual, and it's called the Man in the Fields.
Oh.
So this ritual has been passed down throughout the centuries and originates from the British Isles during the Middle Ages, where it was viewed as devil worship by Puritans and a way to protect your home by those who knew that it was really just what was really standing in the fields. If completed successfully, the ritual will ensure you 1 year of safety, physical, official, and or mental, depending on the events during the ritual. What you'll need for this. You guys ready for your laundry list?
Yep.
A house in the countryside.
Why is it? You mean I can't do this in my upscale apartment in New York City?
No, fortunately not.
Rats.
Preferably with a field or crops out back. Technically, all that is required is a large backyard. The larger, the better.
Oh, I have that.
But success has only come from houses in the countryside. You'll need a candle. Attempting to use a flashlight, cell phone, or any other electronic source of light will be unsuccessful, causing the light source to flicker and die after only a few seconds.
What are you laughing for? I wasn't laughing, but now that I know that I was laughing, I was trying not to laugh.
Wow, you're already giving more character than Jim.
My voice cracking? Is that why you're laughing?
Steve's hitting puberty in the middle of the podcast.
Not now.
No. I suddenly like girls.
It's evolving.
Okay, let's
Yeah,
back
go
up
ahead.
there.
Yeah, go ahead.
You'll need a candle. Attempting to use a flashlight, cell phone, or any other electronic source of light will be unsuccessful, causing the light source to flicker and die after only a few seconds, which is why either a candle, an oil lamp, or any other sort of non-electric illumination is recommended.
I got both of those. Not with me.
I got them too. They're at Walmart.
You'll need a crucifix. I'll explain later.
Oh, thank God.
You'll need a watch or clock to carry around with you. Again, cell phones will not work during this ritual. To begin the ritual, make sure it is late enough for no one to be around outside, and make sure that the sun has set. The being the ritual is based around will not appear if anyone other than the summoner is around to detect its presence. The earliest successful summon was at 9 o'clock. Light your candle. Go out into your yard and whisper 7 times, but who will scare the crows away? While facing the house. What? Now that's sinister. I don't know why you're laughing.
Because this is not the witching hour.
But who will scare the crows away?
I know. Who?
You have to find out. While facing your house.
Oh.
On the 7th whisper, you should hear from behind you, that's not your biggest problem. Walk back to the house without looking back. As soon as you reach the house, get inside and close the door. Now is when the ritual begins. Everything in your house that can open has. Take your crucifix into a room with only one door, close the door, and leave it there. That will be your safe room in case the ritual goes wrong. Make sure all doors, cupboards, cabinets, and whatever else that can open is closed in there. If he gets into your safe room, you are doomed. Your goal is to close everything that is opened before your watch reaches midnight. This sounds easy in description, but think about it. Every bag, every door, every window, every container in your house has just opened. The challenge isn't closing them all, it's remembering them all. As you make your way through your darkened house, you will notice that out of the corner of your eye, you will be able to see a man dressed in simple farmer's clothes. His skin is ash gray. Don't look at him, and whatever you do, don't look directly into his eyes, but don't be afraid of him. This is not the man in the fields. He is merely a herald, a referee of sorts to make sure that you're closing every container. He will be following you, but will not get in your way. Make sure not to look out into your backyard. If you do, you will notice that there is a scarecrow that wasn't there. Its head is a cow skull, and its limbs are impossibly long versions of human beings' arms and legs. While the skin on its arms and legs is pale, they are not skeletal. The only thing that's missing is his head. If you fail the ritual or do not reach your safe room in time, he's going to take yours. The reason I was telling you not to look out in the backyard is that you will notice this scarecrow, but he will also notice you. He will then begin to get off his post. If you don't look in the backyard, don't see the post and the scarecrow, you will have until midnight to complete the ritual. If you are 100% sure that everything in your house that can be opened is closed, make your way to bed and go to sleep. For exactly 1 year, you will have complete and total safety in everything you do, depending on when you started the ritual. If you started at 3 hours from midnight, you will only be completely physically safe. A lot of people have used this to elongate their lives. If you started 2 hours from midnight, you will not only be physically safe, but financially safe for the year. You could quit your job and still never have a need for money. Either you win the lottery or people will just feel compelled to give you things for free. However, you will need to set up a plan for the end of the year, as your safety will wear off then and you will lose all of the money you have won. Make sure to either set up a business or make some smart investments. If you started the ritual 1 hour from midnight and somehow managed to finish it, which is highly unlikely, you will be completely and totally safe for 1 year. None of your actions will ever have any negative consequences. I tell you not to do anything immoral, but if you're going to go through your entire house in 1 hour and somehow manage to close all of the boxes, doors, windows, cupboards, bags, cabinets, and drawers, then you can do whatever the hell you want. If you did look out in the backyard, if you saw the man in the fields, you will not get any of this, not even if you finish the ritual. If you looked in the backyard, the man in the fields will get down off his post, he will look at you, and he will begin sprinting. You will have a minute at most to get to your safe room. Run inside and lock it tight, and double check to see if everything is closed inside. You do not want him getting in. You will have to endure him scratching and clawing at the door, shrieking threats and promises of mercy if you do open the door. Whatever he says or does, do not open that door. There is a circumstance in which you should leave your safe room to confront the man in the fields. Well, there is no circumstance in which you should leave your safe room to confront the man in the fields.
I was like, oh, really?
Good luck and stay safe.
Jesus.
All right, so
That seems like a lot going on.
so if you guys were to do this ritual, what time do you think you'd be able to start and get finished? I don't think I'd go with a full hour, even though I don't really have a lot to open and close, but I wouldn't feel very,
Look at my room alone, dude.
Yeah, that's true. But
Look at all these boxes.
I wouldn't feel sure of myself to finish within like an hour. Like I feel like the earliest I could do is maybe like 10 o'clock before midnight.
I think 10 o'clock would. They said earliest was 9 o'clock.
9.
Yeah.
I mean, can you do it at 9:30?
I don't think I need till 9, but maybe like 10.
Hey, it's 9 o'clock now. You guys want to do it?
No.
Oh. No, I'm good. No, thanks.
It's just the part where he gets off his post and starts sprinting. It's what really bothers me.
Like scary stories.
Because I sit there while I'm running at nighttime, and I just like look around me. I go, well, I don't want to look in that direction because what if there's a scarecrow and I see him, and then he notices that I saw him, so he just gets off his post and starts sprinting at me.
I don't know.
I can't handle
it. Very
Mayfield.
complicated for me to process and understand.
What was not to understand?
Just like,
You go out into the
I
field.
personally just don't think I could do it.
Go out into the field. You go.
Alicia, can you move closer to your mic a little bit?
Who's gonna scare those crows away? Then you go inside. Everything's open. You close everything.
Where's the scarecrow come from?
Somewhere
Some
demonic.
Yeah.
I want to know what the herald looks like.
They said he was just like some ashy farmer.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just some creepy farmer dude that is like a ghost thing.
What if I try to high five him or something? Be like, all right, bud, let's do this.
Let's close these bags.
Well, my thing is, what room in a house only has like one door? Most
Bathroom.
Bathrooms, bedrooms.
Not always have the closet. That has a door.
This room?
You have 2 doors.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you'd have to sleep in the bathroom, dude.
Bathroom. Oh, my God, that's creepy.
Your room at home has one door. Oh, wait, no, you have a closet.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's rough.
I mean, the middle floor doesn't have any doors.
So, when you start the ritual, everything in the house opens?
You walk in and everything's open. What if you do this ritual and then you walk inside and see everything open and you realize you just don't feel like doing it? Like, is there a back out button where you can just go?
Well, right. It's like what makes me impelled to do the ritual.
Because then if you do it
financially,
if you do it 3 hours before midnight, then you're safe for the year. Your life's gonna be longer and you're good.
Yeah, but the backup in this whole situation is to go into your safe room.
Yeah.
And kind of just wait it out.
Safe room.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
you have to have a safe room.
well, yeah.
Well, what happens if you leave the premises? What if you go inside and go, great, now my milk is spoiled. All of my perishables are going to spoil past their expiration date because they're all opened. This sucks. I'm going to go get a hotel for the night. Huh?
I'm just laughing at perishables.
Well, the Herald will see you try to leave.
Yeah, will he get pissed off? Because he seems like a friendly entity in this whole
Well,
thing.
he might be the guy who's like, hey, Scarecrow.
Yeah, he's like,
He's running.
He's running.
Get him.
We got a runner.
We got a code 5.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like,
Yeah, so
geez, like,
it's one of those things where I didn't really think about it at first. I was like, okay, that's an interesting and weird ritual, but then like now I just think about it all the time.
yeah,
I like make a plan for what I'd close first and how I wouldn't look in my backyard, and then I look in the backyard and it's like, oh shit.
well, I live on 8.5 acres. Like, I just imagine like looking out the window in my kitchen that looks out to the backyard and just seeing that thing like next to the big bamboo patch in that like little aisle.
Yeah, with his really long arms.
And then him just going into a full sprint.
Yeah,
past my goats.
Screaming at you.
Past my goats. What if my goat saved me though? Somehow.
Yeah, right.
Bella bursts out of her cage and she winks at him and
Bites his fingers.
yeah, bites his little nipples on his little toesies.
So, like, unfortunately, you can't do it if there's other people around. So, like, they say that people in the Middle Ages did this, but people in the Middle Ages had, like, big, obnoxious families. So, like, do they have to go, like, tell their family to leave? I'm going to go do the ritual that makes it so we don't die of starvation tonight?
I feel like it would probably be a lot easier back then because, like, how many things do you have back then?
Yeah, they didn't have to worry about
You
bags.
probably
And
haven't made
stuff.
neighbors.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about Amazon dropping
Yeah, but
boxes off at your house every day.
Because, like, old Seamus would, like, you know, come in from the fields and be like,
They probably didn't
well,
have closets.
oh, well, there's me drawer. It's open again. And he closes it and goes to bed.
And then suddenly he's financially sound.
Yeah. he had no idea the entire man in the fields thing was a thing.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty creepy. Like, I like that story. I like that. It's another kind of like the doll
playing hide and seek by yourself thing.
Yeah. Although I don't know what's creepier, the doll or the.
I feel like the doll is creepier, but this is like kind of creepy because it was newer to me.
Scarecrow though, like.
I don't know. I feel like the Scarecrow's even worse.
Yeah.
Although
I mean, I'm assuming it's probably older than us, or you know.
That's true.
Well, although the idea of a doll like roaming around your house looking for you kind of freaks me out a little more.
They don't say how muscular this Scarecrow is, though. Like, obviously, like as it says, don't bother trying to fight it because you'll lose. But like,
yeah.
You know, how big is this Scarecrow?
Yeah, but
I mean, I'm not saying I can take on Chucky or anything.
But that's the thing, like this was from the Middle Ages. They didn't have guns then. Like,
yeah, like what if he kicks down your door and you're sitting there with like a flamethrower, and this is just a man made of straw and bones and pale skin? Like,
what about it? Like, he kicks open the door and he's faced with like a 12 gauge shotgun that they didn't have in the Middle Ages.
That or you just like booby trap your house.
Yeah, you just hear like pots and pans, like, but you do it in the in like the Home Alone style.
I was just about to say, like, you just booby trap your house just to absolutely just disrespect this thing.
Yeah, you pour paint all over him.
Yeah, he just thinks he's gonna have like a good time just coming in, but then there's like 1,500 mouse traps.
Yeah, you're up
like
in your safe room and you just hear,
oh, ow,
ow!
My day doesn't happen.
Why is there one rat trap?
Yeah. Back in the good days, I used to respect and fear Scarecrow.
Not anymore.
This is the 15th house this week where I've entered, and there's been.
Yeah, he's just part of the Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
The Monsters Inc. universe where he's like, they're not scared anymore.
I open a door and a pie hits me in the face.
I like that one. That's pretty spooky. But now, thanks, because now every time I look outside,
yeah, you can't look outside at night anymore.
Luckily, you have those like goats, the pig.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah,
they don't bat things as they walk up. They're not like guard dogs.
Yeah.
But who will scare the crows away?
The goats, the chickens.
I need to say it like 5 more times, and then he shows up.
As my
There he is now.
There he is. Delivery. That's pretty cool. I like that. Are you ready for mine?
Yeah, let's go.
You got the one? Yep.
The other one, I'm sure you guys have heard of it.
Mm-hmm.
This is another New Jersey thing. This is in Clifton, New Jersey, and many people who have read this story know of Clifton, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. The Gates of Hell.
It's one of those things where, like, I think I know it, but I forget. So
this is straight off of a Weird New Jersey again. So
weird.
Here's the article. There's probably no better way to prove one's courage than by walking straight into the gaping maw of hell, the gates of which can be found in the town of Clifton, Passaic County. Passaic County? I don't know. Poseidon County.
Poseidon.
Yeah.
This legendary passageway leads into a network of underground tunnels and storm sewers, and some say to the lair of to the evil one himself. You might think the term Gates of Hell would be a common nickname for any dark and foreboding entrance to the underground. Mm-hmm. Yet, in all of our years of research, we have found no other subterranean passage in the state with the same moniker of this Clifton site. It is a very old tunnel and an arched stone ceiling about 8 feet high. The white quickly evaporates behind you as you enter, and you are soon enveloped in total darkness. Inside can be an extremely dangerous place, even without the presence of Satan. The tunnel system was built as a drainage runoff for a stream called Weasel Brook, and in times of heavy rain, the usual trickle of water through the tunnel can become a raging torrent almost instantly. Generations of local teenagers have told stories of what lay deep inside the darkened corridor, and have dared each other to venture forth. Are their tales an accurate depiction of what lies beyond the murky threshold of the gates of hell, or are they more a window into the dark fears which can be found inside us all? Only those who are brave enough or foolhardily enough to enter those gates can say for sure. So the gates of hell, like, the idea is that it's a portal. Like, I don't know why it became a portal or whatever, but it's like really ominous. I don't know. Have you guys heard of it at all? Like,
mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah.
So
my older sister has the Weird New Jersey books, and we one year went up to North Jersey, but we mostly just hung out in Asbury Park because, I mean, who doesn't go to Asbury Park when it's like Weird New Jersey stuff, since it's on the cover. But
what's weird about Asbury Park?
It's just like
it's Asbury Park. That's what's weird.
I guess like the atmosphere and everything, like it's just supposed to be weird. Weird New Jersey. I don't know. That's
never heard about this.
Crazy.
Being weird.
Huh?
I've never heard about this being weird.
Well, I don't know specifically why it is. When we went there was even like a shop for it's
like oddities and stuff.
Yeah, there. So
maybe if you looked it up, you would have a story for today.
I'm not having a story. Like, this is just an experience. I'm just letting you know.
Okay.
Just had the books. I read about it. Yeesh.
Yee. All right. So there's like more that goes on to this.
On you.
So there's a guy who guards the gates. His name's Red-Eyed Mike. Guards the gates of hell.
As opposed to my cousin, Blue Eyes Johnson.
Blue Eyes Red Dragon.
Blue Eyes.
So
you may have heard of my brother.
Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Red Eyes Black Dragon.
So I'll read again off of the article. Mm-hmm. I've explored every inch of Clifton, and nowhere is as eerie as the gates of hell. It is said that a spirit known as Red-Eyed Mike guards the tunnel. If you knock on the railroad ties above the entrance in groups of 3, you will hear a loud horn sound from within the tunnel. I've heard this horn on occasion and have seen rocks hurling themselves out of the tunnel with no person visible inside. I once also witnessed a small human-shaped figure run out of the tunnel towards Weasel Brook Park with some superhuman speed. I have been told that is Red-Eye Mike.
I mean, not to burst that bubble though, but if you're going to knock on something, I'm sure it's going to cause, if it's going to go through the tunnel, I'm sure it's going to cause some like avalanche kind of
So
noise bouncing back.
yeah, I mean the knock. I could be like a train all the way in the other side of town, and it could be just a coincidence. But at the same time, like I think of like Heaven's Horns. Do you know Heaven's Horns at all?
It's another thing I've heard about, but I don't remember.
So, well, let me continue with this.
Go there and find out for ourselves. There's a group of 3 right here.
Let's go. A group of 3, 3 knocks. So, my friends and I have heard rumors of the gates of hell that may be of interest to you. Besides the glowing skull rumor, there's supposed to be an area within the gates that have some very disturbing decor. There are dead trees planted exactly 3 feet apart from one another with dead cats and birds tied to them from around their trunks.
That's just sad.
Another story I've heard is that at the very end of the gates is the actual portal to hell. There is a groove about 20 feet deep and about 40 feet across in the very center of the grove. Is a smothered out granite manhole, which is supposed to be the one of the portals leading into the hell. So I've read on other places where like as you venture into the tunnel, you come across like other doors and like doors passageways. Passageways, but like they'll lead into rooms, basically just like really like messed up rooms. Like one room would be just nothing but bones. One room you go into and there's like lit candles. It's like really weird.
You go into another room and there's just a bunch of open cupboards and bags and you just have to close them all.
Oh yeah.
The other one is strictly homeless people because that's probably what isn't though.
I don't know if they would live in a storm drain. Name.
Very, very low opinion of homeless people.
I mean, literally it says like as soon as it rains it becomes a raging river. I don't think they physically could live in there.
I mean,
scuba gear.
But like there's like a lot of graffiti all over the inside and stuff. But
well, that I'm sure goes without saying.
Yeah.
Like, would you guys go into it? I think I would.
No.
I would definitely have to
I barely even want to go outside, dude.
I'd rather obviously do it in the daytime than nighttime.
So,
rooms full of bones. Oh.
My first recollection. Okay,
Dead
so
cats and birds hung up from.
I mean, it says like those are some stories.
Yeah, those are the stories. But like this could be one of those things where everyone who goes in it gets a different experience.
Yeah.
Because it's the gates of hell. But
That's true.
It affects them all different.
Red Eyes Mike, like.
Yeah, Red Eye Mike.
In the spirit, yeah.
So they would tell stories of people entering these tunnels and never returning, of course. Satanic sacrifices, decaying carcasses, upside down crosses, satanic graffiti. Anything dealing with darkness and human nature was down there. Most chilling to me was a secret room, many layers under the ground. This room was one of the. This room was only to be entered if you possessed powers that enable you to lift axes that weighed thousands of pounds and that blocked the door.
Was this Thor?
Yeah. Inside the room was a dungeon that housed a human skull, or so it was said. There are 7 layers of the tunnel under the ground, and the lower you go, the closer you come to meeting the devil. So that goes into the whole.
Can they just use like machinery to open this stuff up?
Well, like everyone who goes down there sees something different.
It's all about the experience.
What if I just happen to go down there and I get I'm like greeted with this door and I just so happen to have like, you know,
everything.
Fancy picky uppy doohickey tool. So can lift this thing.
So people hear like chants.
It might not be there for you.
Maybe.
Yeah, so people like hear chants coming from the tunnel.
Probably something that you're like in your like subconscious.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I mean, there's like videos of people entering it on YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't usually get very far into it just because it's so dark and like dangerous to traverse. Just because there's like shit in it and
it's filled with green screen.
Yeah, filled with green screens. Deep inside the tunnel, we started to hear strange knocking sound. This was a shock to the system since it had been totally quiet except for the flow of water. That's when we ran and got the hell out of there. I wasn't sure what we heard. My friends swear it was someone whispering some chant deeper in the tunnel. Years later, I made several trips back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would try going in. I think I would.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Well, I ain't no weenie. That's the idea of like there could be like a gate to hell in New Jersey just is kind of comical to me.
Be surprised.
But yeah, Jersey's literally a hellhole all in itself. So I mean, we could be in layer one.
There is a gate to hell in New Jersey. It's called the Delaware Memorial Bridge.
Yeah, it's literally.
I mean,
stories coming.
That's what I'm here for.
Stories of the. I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with that.
So the heavens horns.
Oh, the heavens horns. So like, it's a weird occurrence. Like,
is that when like the world ends and?
So they people keep claiming that they hear horns coming from the sky. Mm-hmm. But there's like countless videos of people like hearing the horns as they're like outside. It sounds like trumpets.
Guys, what is going on?
Strange sounds are being heard around the world.
Inside Edition.
In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet. In Michigan, another trumpet-like sound.
You hear it?
In British Columbia, Canada, Dr. Glenn McPherson says he heard a strange humming sound in his home.
Sounds like a train
he thought it was an
derailing
appliance. Ultimately, I cut the power to the entire...
Yeah, it's
I feel like that Silent Hill kind of siren that some fire companies even use. I mean, even like...
Yeah, I feel like there's like...
tornado warning kind of thing.
Maybe that would have been creepy in like the 1700s. But I feel like we just have like so much machinery and like whatnot now.
It's definitely questionable. I mean, if I had heard it, in my house, I'd be like, what's that?
They said it's like
It sounds like bees.
Yeah.
it's like echoing, like it's so like deafening loud. Like it's hard to believe that it's anything normal.
But
Yeah.
horns.
Right. So they call it the heaven's horns, and there's like the idea that it's the seven horns from heaven or something like that.
Well, what does a seven like?
Doesn't that announce the end of the world or something?
Yeah, it's the start of the end of the world. Seven horns from heaven. So there'd be like the seven trumpets.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then one angel shows up with a bugle and they all tell him to go home.
Yeah.
In the book of Revelations, seven trumpets are sounded, one at a time, to cue the apocalyptic events seen by John of Patmos in his vision. The seven trumpets are sounded by seven angels, and the events that follow are described in detail from Revelations chapter 8 to 11. According to it, the angels sound these trumpets after breaking the seventh seal. These seals secured the... Yeah, thanks for the warning. These seals secured the apocalyptic document held in the right hand of him who sits on the main throne. Is this supposed to be God? Oh. The trumpets are referred to as the coin Greek. This is a straight, narrow bronze tube with a mouthpiece. The final three trumpets are sometimes called the woe trumpets. Whoa.
Oh, dude. These are trumpets.
Oh, wait, there's like every trumpet has a different... First trumpet. Upon the sound of the first trumpet, hail and fire mingle the blood. Mingled with blood is thrown to earth, burning up a third of the trees on the planet and all green grass. Second trumpet. With the sounding of the second trumpet, something described as a great mountain burning with fire plunges into the sea and turns a third of the ocean to blood. Soon after, a third of all the sea life and a third of all ships will be destroyed. Some speculate that the great mountain will be an asteroid cast from the heavens. Third trumpet. With the sounding of the third trumpet, a great star called Wormwood falls to the earth, poisoning a third of the planet's freshwater sources, such as rivers and springs. Men will die from drinking its bitter taste.
Let's think it was a
warning.
2/3.
Fourth trumpet. Following the sounding of the fourth trumpet, a third of the light that shines from the sun, moon, and stars becomes dark from a celestial body's being struck. This catastrophe causes complete darkness for a third of the day, even through night hours. This is the final trumpet that sounds before the three woes, also known as the fifth, sixth, and seventh trumpet. And those are just the woes or whatever they are. But that's pretty interesting.
But I mean, like, not to get all, heresy up in here, but I doubt anybody super religious is watching something called the Ghost Collective. Anyway, but I mean, like, the angels are doing this? Like, how are they the good guys if they're, like, raining, like, blood and fire on the...
They're the warning. They're the warnings.
Yeah, but then who is enacting this blood and fire, like, being poured onto the earth? Like...
God.
Yeah, so how is...
The devil himself.
No one talks about, like, the devil doing this. He's just chilling underground, like,
I mean, we already know he's a fallen angel.
And
honestly, the devil's the good guy.
Yeah, but he's punishing bad people downstairs while God's the one, like, blowing up the world 5 times.
Yeah,
and pouring blood on us.
When
like,
he gave everyone free will and then was upset that no one acted the way he wanted them to, so he drowned everyone.
Yeah, so, like...
who's the good guy?
Are we the baddies?
Well, like, I look at the pictures of the 7 angels, and it's like they're just normal people with wings. But, like, aren't angels supposed to be grotesque?
Yeah, they're supposed to be, like, horrifying looking.
Let me Google this real quick. What do angels actually look like?
Picture of me.
Yeah. My grandmother.
The Bible doesn't tell us exactly what angels look like. In fact, they often are invisible to us because they're spiritual beings who seldom take on any physical appearance.
Again, probably your subconscious, like, or like, how in Captain Marvel with the artificial intelligence.
Are you saying the Bible's like Captain Marvel?
Captain Marvel is God.
I think, like, I was saying that they look like normal people.
And that could be scary.
Yeah.
The scariest.
Grotesque.
Here, let me Google a better way. Are angels ugly?
Oh, that would sound right.
Are angels grotesque looking?
I saw this one thing. I don't remember what the source is, but it was like talking about how angels look like, they have like lion heads with like 17 like snakes wrapped around it, and horse hooves, and
well, like there was like that. What movie was that? It was definitely a Guillermo del Toro movie that showed like an angel in it, and it was like horrifying looking. But like, yeah, I remember them being described as
King of the Hill.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't there like the whole thing. The reason whenever an angel appears or shows itself to someone, it says, "Do not be afraid."
Guess that's understandable.
Yeah. Do not be afraid. I'm ugly.
Do not be afraid, and it's just like this horrifying.
Yeah. This is literally This is literally what my Tinder profile says.
Are you going to open all the bags in my house?
Are you going to sprint off of a stick at me? I like that. That's interesting.
Quite.
I'm not a very religious person, but there are some pretty interesting stories, like biblical prophecies.
Half of them don't even come from the Bible. They come from like,
people's fanfics.
Yeah, Paradise Lost and whatnot.
Yeah. Devil May Cry.
Yeah. My favorite biblical work, Devil May Cry 4.
Well, so I think that was a successful podcast.
Yeah, that was very productive. We talked about
scarecrows, a tree, and a hole in the ground. And Alicia contributed, even though she had no story.
Thank you, Alicia, for your time and patience for the creation of this podcast.
Yeah, and look, we made it to 50 minutes.
50 minutes?
Yeah, we've been talking for that long.
Wow.